A federal judge has ruled that Google has indeed been running an illegal monopoly in the online advertising world, setting up the tech titan for some serious issues going forward. This is an article from the Post-Millennial discussing this. This is by Thomas Stevenson, who wrote, "Federal judge rules Google has monopoly over ad technology." The judge found out that out of the three markets in the advertising technology space, Google has a monopoly in two of them. On Thursday, a federal judge ruled that Google has an illegal monopoly over online advertising technology. This is the second time in the last year where a judge has said that the company has violated antitrust laws in the U.S. According to The Hill, U.S. District Judge Leonie Brinkema said in her decision that plaintiffs have proven that Google has willfully engaged in a series of anti-competitive acts, no surprise, to acquire and maintain monopoly power in the publisher ad server and ad exchange markets for open web display and advertising. The judge found that out of the three markets, which we already covered, for over a decade, Google has tied its publisher ad server and ad exchange together through contractual policies and technological integration, which enabled the company to establish and protect its monopoly power in these two markets, the judge added in the decision. Now, CNBC reported that the ruling could allow for the breaking up of Google in the ad space and possible sell-off of Google Ad Manager, which hold the servers for publishing advertisements as well as its ad exchange. The company has previously weighed selling off its advertising exchange when it was facing pressure from European countries over antitrust laws, meaning they knew they were doing things that was going to get them in trouble, but they were trying to get away with it, and, well, here we are. Now, of course, Google's lawyer has argued that the prosecution was ignoring the online advertising technology market share that Amazon has as well as Comcast. Now, this all comes as no surprise to me. Google is playing with very unfair tactics for a very long time now. They built their entire empire by buying out and eliminating all their competition. They bought companies like DoubleClick, YouTube, AdMob, and more. Now, Google, the court has found, had illegally tied their DFP and AdX, or Google Ad Exchange, making it difficult for publishers to use competing ad exchanges. And the way they did this was by designing their ad server to prioritize their AdX, giving themselves an unfair advantage in ad auctions. Publishers using Google's DFP were nudged toward AdX as it offered better integration and access to Google's vast advertiser pool. Google also imposed rules that penalized publishers for working with rival exchanges, such as unified pricing rules that limited price flexibility. It was all about keeping the competition out. The judge also noted in this case that Google eliminated desirable product features to disadvantage competitors, harming publishers and consumers. And trust me, if you ever got removed by Google for eligibility both from selling to or receiving ad revenue from Google, you were in huge trouble. By Google using their tying strategy, they created a closed ecosystem where publishers and advertisers had little choice but to rely on Google's tools. And by doing so, it only served to reinforce Google's monopoly power. And Google buying YouTube was also an important step on their march to world domination of the online ad market. YouTube is the number 2 largest social media platform in the world with 2.7 billion monthly active users. Those are a lot of people that you could serve ads to. But now that they've had a federal judge rule that they are a monopoly, this then moves everything to the remedies phase, where the Department of Justice could push for drastic measures, such as forcing Google to divest parts of its ad tech business, like Google Ad Manager, which includes DFP and AdX, or imposing behavioral restrictions to ensure fair competition. The DOJ could also give Google a pass, of course, with fines or court oversight, which would do little to stop the tech titan. Now, Donald Trump has weighed in on Google previously, expressing skepticism about breaking Google up. But as of now, the Department of Justice is seeking remedies to force Google to sell parts of its ad tech business, like Google Ad Manager. And if they do so, this would be a huge historic move, which harkens back to the AT&T breakup back in 1982. But you can expect appeals to come, and that will likely delay the outcome for many years.